Scialanore.
Prepare for the approaching conflict, my warriors.
An ally of inferior worth, I see.
Let's get this over with.
Ten seconds remaining. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let our battle begin. Well, warrior.
Oh dear. The beacons are energizing. You have to control them.
I won't underestimate them again. The sun lets me back. must pull back. So be it. Vengeance!
Oh, so many Zerg headed right for us. Stop them! Stop them at once!
Select attack.
The Lich
Time for a short reprieve. You presume to challenge me?
One life taken to save many.
The Zerg are eliminated. I did the sciences to avoid this sort of thing.
Hell back, coming
Well
through.
done, brethren.
The Lich Lord moves.
So be it. All of them oppose me.
Select a talent.
Time to devise a new strategy.
The raw power flows through me. So be it. Time for a short reprieve.
Looks like the beacons are reactivating.
Our enemy has leveled a fort.
You presume to challenge me?
The beacons are active once again. Control them before the enemy does.
Indeed. All who oppose me shall burn. I must pull back. Outstanding.
talent.
You shall have my aid.
The Phoenix Gauntlet along.
Defend this realm without pause.
What delicious food.
See, try me.
Very good.
I will freeze the blood in your veins.
My blessings upon you.
See.
I will not underestimate them again.
Come on.
Quite the display.
This can't be happening. The Zerg are bearing down on us. Oh, I'm too smart to die.
Sorry I can't stay.
Take caution. Our fort has fallen.
I must away.
Zerg threat eliminated.
Oh, thank goodness. We live another day.
The fine choice.
Select a talent.
The raw power flows through me. It shall be done.
I will be heading this way. The Lich Lord moves. We must defend.
The beacons are energizing.
Beware! Our core is under attack. Exit.
That one was on a killing spree. The Lich Lord moves.
I knew this was a reckless plan. Legions of Zerg have caught our scent. No!
The enemy assails our core.
I will freeze
Security can't hold off the Zerg ad nauseum. They need your help.
The enemy assails our core.
We are clear of the Zerg. Huh. Who designed this ramshackle facility? Oh wait, I did.
Beware! Our core is under attack.
Try me.
I will freeze
Yeah.
to challenge me. Thank you, healer. Get out of there! I must go back. It shall be done.
Power spiked from the beacons. They'll be active soon.
It shall be
Attain control of those beacons. You don't want to face angry Zerg.
on the sun. The Lich Lord moves. And no one for us. I will.
Rest well, for we still have need of you. Forge eradicated. Beware, our core is under attack. Keep lost.
Fall back!
Defeat. MVP.
I stand ready.
Are you sure you're a demon hunter? Don't you need a blindfold or something?
Do not test my patience. It is not my strongest virtue.
We launch our attack in 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let the battle begin!
Through here. Your fear betrays you. Well done. Swift and silent. clever ploy. I'm ready to continue the hunt.
Heroes, gather tribute and earn my favor.
This battle is far from over. Allow me to join you in your fight.
My mana is too low.
Stand together, die together.
Your fear betrays you. My heart continues. No mercy for the wicked.
I grow tired of your petty squabbling. Gather tribute. Earn my favor.
Choose a talent.
To my aid, quickly!
I depart.
Allow me to
No
join you in
mercy
your
for
fight.
the wicked.
Not bad for a mortal.
How impressive.
Keep it up. I am renewed. I depart.
I require assistance.
I found my flame.
Allow me to join you in your fight.
Shall we see who gathers enough tribute this time?
That is not the kind of task one should attempt alone.
I depart. I found my flame.
I have seen better. Choose a talent.
Vengeance is mine. The path leads this way. I found my thread.
Come on.
Allow me to join you in your fight.
Descend.
Such a lack of valor.
Gentle that.
Descends.
Hero slain.
Your fear
I'm
betrays
impressed.
you. Well done, healer.
We must retreat.
Gather tribute or face my curse. The choice is simple.
Allow me to join you in your fight.
You look like you need a visit to the healing fountain.
None survive.
Mortals. Unacceptable.
Vengeance is mine.
Unacceptable. You shall know my curse.
Stay alert.
Choose a talent.
I need help. And I need our help. And I need our help. Light protect you.
Even you can be empowered by valor.
That was entertaining.
Fail to impress me.
And so the curse ends. Perhaps now you realize its value, yes?
Well done, healer.
Mortal. Your core is under attack.
Your fate is sealed.
I feel like something terrible is about
Recruiting
to
these
happen here.
mercenaries would be wise.
The path leads this way.
To my aid,
Dangers
quickly!
lurking nearby.
Stand together, die together.
Keep it up!
Is that the best you can...
Grow tired of your petty squabbling. Gather tribute. Earn my favor.
Defend the core.
I depart.
King lost. Defend the core. This is sacrilege. MVP. Selama Ashalanore.
Prepare for the approaching conflict, my warriors.
Are you prepared?
Shall be done. Surely you jest.
Ten seconds remaining.
Pray for mercy.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fight for all that lives.
Very good. short reprieve.
This is too easy. Indeed.
I'm with you.
Select a talent.
Not long now. The altars are rising. Ready yourselves. We must claim them first.
The defenders of life fear not the sting of death.
I require assistance.
I'm waiting.
Finally, the altars are ready. Capture them, heroes, and be quick about it.
Very good. This realm is mine, Gravekeeper.
Show the Raven Lord the extent of my power.
Salam, Ashanor. Belong to slay this hero.
I require assistance.
No! It shall be done.
I need help.
You fought well, warrior. Select a talent.
I'm waiting.
I need help.
Soon, the altars will be ours.
We must abandon this fight.
And so they return. Capture the altars quickly, heroes.
Our enemy falls before you.
Is that all you can muster?
Now, you shall fall.
Fine choice. Fire be purged. No! Very good.
Select a talent.
This is too easy. A fine addition to my arsenal.
The altars rise again, heroes.
My pleasure.
I require assistance.
We will not be stopped.
I need help. I require assistance.
The altars belong to those who claim them.
Solo Tezuka.
I'm back in the fight.
All towers. Fire.
You show promise.
Nice try.
Indeed.
Fall back.
Indeed.
Select a talent.
Now I'll show them.
Yes, let the altars rise! Do not let them take our towers. Outstanding.
I require assistance.
Lay claim to the altars. Do not disappoint me.
Alas, we have lost the fort. Rest well, for we still have need of you.
Meet your doom, Gravekeeper. Be gone from my domain.
Very good.
Let's see if you learn your lesson this time.
All who oppose me shall burn.
Fort annihilated.
Minotaur!
Testament to my glory.
It shall be done with you. This hill.
The Raven Lord's heroes have taken a tower. Another altar, another battle.
You showed Select a talent.
It appears we must defend our ally.
Go! Do not let the altars fall into the Raven Lord's talons!
Lend me your arms.
The Raven Lord will fall before me!
How utterly droll. This realm is mine, Gravekeeper. Meet your doom, Gravekeeper.
We may lose a battleground, but we shall win the war.
MVP.
The wait is over. Prepare for the approaching conflict, my warriors.
Look who it is. This ought to be interesting.
The Fury of Scovos is at your side. For Scovos. Ten seconds
a new skill.
remaining.
I'd forgotten that feeling.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go forth, guardians of life. As the oracles have foreseen, I shall purge this land of the shadow.
Already moving.
For Scovos. The aspect of life watches over you. Thought I had joined the Valkyries for a moment. It would be wise to defend here. I shall purge this land of the shadow. March forward. Select a talent.
Already moving. We should take this mercenary camp.
Make haste.
Heroes, gather tribute and earn my favor.
Your atrocities end here. This area grows dangerous. Need vigilance. To war. Well healed. Stay away from here. With vigilance. This area grows dangerous. War. March forward. Select a talent. Our enemy falls before will survive. Double kill. You did what you had to. Take that hero triple kill.
Still a few
Quad kill.
Someone's been practicing.
Endure. might. I shall aid you in your fight. We advance. Do not let our ally fall to the enemy.
I grow tired of your petty squabbling. Gather tribute. Earn my favor.
Select a talent.
We should defend here. Those who prepare endure.
Be wary. Take that hero down. One life taken to save many. Killing spree.
No harm shall come to this world. Watch out! Strike with fury!
I'm on my way. I am on my way to you. Eliminate. Double kill. Triple kill.
Kill confirmed. By your hand, we will survive.
Keep it up.
Anyone up for destroying this fort? I am the Queen's Spear. Make haste.
An enemy boat has fallen.
Keep up the fight.
I am on my way to you.
Gather tribute or face my curse. The choice is simple.
Our atrocities end here. By your hand, we will survive.
A victory for all who stand against the shadow. Do not let our ally fall to the enemy. Select a talent.
With vigilance.
We have brought down their fort.
You have won my favor, heroes. Let your reigns know
Exceptionally
my
done.
wrath.
Lend me your aid,
Excellent.
sister. Way to go. Like it. Strike with fury. Well healed. No harm shall come to this world.
The light shall burn!
Well healed. I shall
Magnificent. Enemy fleet annihilated.
Enough! The curse is over. I will prefer the most.
endure.
Superbly executed. It would be wise to defend here.
As the oracles have foreseen. We are stronger when we fight together. Reinforcements inbound. Fall before my might.
The light shall burn!
Lend me your aid, sister.
Your killing spree has concluded. Quite the display. Select a talent.
A worthy death.
I am on my way to you.
I'm ready once more. We advance.
Shall we see who gathers enough tribute this time?
Behold, the power gifted by the Titans!
Make haste. By your hand, we will survive.
The light shall burn!
Defend this realm without pause.
Kill confirmed. Those who prepare endure.
We have destroyed an enemy keep. A victory for all who stand against the shadow. I shall join you shortly.
Watch out. The goddesses descends.
Did what you double kill.
Kill confirmed. Those who prepare endure.
A victory for all who stand against the shadow.
Meet your death. Right on!
I am on my way to you.
Gather tribute or face my curse. The choice is simple.
As the oracles have foreseen.
An enemy keep has fallen before us.
Before my might.
And that is that.
Defend this realm without pause. Killing spree. Victory!
MVP. Epic.
Selama Ashalanore.
Prepare for the approaching conflict, my warriors.
Come, noble warrior. We shall burn the wicked to ash.
This alliance will surely prove beneficial.
Ten seconds remaining. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fight for all that lives.
Indeed. The sun lights my path.
First blood.
I am impressed.
Select a talent.
Narinig mo ko. Oh, really? Wait lang.
Mortals, I must teach this man a lesson.
Start streaming ko lang. Wait lang.
A testament to my glory.
Retreat!
There is no escape for you but death, Angel.
Ano bang nilalaro mo?
I will be right there.
May merong D&D na na thread. Sa Reddit. D&D next. Although di ko sure kung D&D talaga siya. Oo, ganun. Meron din Dead by Daylight.
A testament to my
As the shadows shift,
Reddit? Reddit? Ano? Discord? Uy, gaming circle jerk.
Quite the display.
The art of self-control. You put that on monks who can play video games without saying the N-word.
Threat eliminated. Select a talent.
Keep it up. I'll be there.
Grabe. Meron akong Witcher series. Horizon Zero Dawn. Pa ba? Tapos di ko naman nilalaro. Hirap. Yeah.
Our enemy falls.
Pero di ba meron na siyang kasunod?
perhaps you are not entirely alone.
Triple kill.
Ah, sa PC.
That was me.
Saka di ba magkakaroon ng... What should we call it?
Killing spree.
Series, TV series. Ng God of War. I'm not sure kung kasama din yung Horizon Zero Dawn. Pero sana wag naman nilang madaliin. Nakaka-trauma kasi yung Team Punk.
This is too easy. Lights my path.
Ano?
I am low on mana.
Ano bang maganda? Yeah. Wala eh. Baka busy kasi nga pag weekend nasa Laguna siya. May ring naman nga. Pero kailangan pa rin alagaan. Ayun. Oftentimes, I look at the skills and knowledge I've cultivated and feel like that moment when you play an RPG for the first time and realize you've built your character all wrong after finally figuring out how the game works. Pero mas, yeah. Alam ka naman ano ka, di ba? Hindi ka naman din respawn. Saka walang saving point, or checkpoint. Tingnan na tayo sa ask Reddit. Wait, asan na ba? Sige, ask Reddit muna.
One life taken to save.
Na trend.
A testament to my glory. Consider your flame extinguished.
Mayhem.
Go lang. Ito. A post on Ask Reddit full of comments that will make your day. What's one thing your partner doesn't know? And then, when we worked together, someone kept stealing food from my husband's lunchbox. He started deliberately packing more food. He assumed the person was stealing food because they were hungry and couldn't afford it. I found out who did it. She hated him and was doing it to try to piss him off. I told her if she did it again, I would make a big stink of it, but never told him because I didn't want to shatter his illusion that he was doing a nice thing for someone who really needed it. Grabe. Aww. Kawawa naman yung guy.
My foe will not expect this.
Tapos no, yung mga kinukuha pang food, yung mga Lays, diba? Ang taray, no? Tapos mga, hindi lang Cloud9 sneakers, no?
My blessings upon you.
Kaya natin yung
Our enemy falls
main
before you.
thread.
Select a talent.
Your death was entirely worth it.
Our fort has been destroyed.
Ikaw ka ba to? Parang nakakatakot. Yung may button dito na click to see NSFW. Wala naman, hindi naman nag-load. Biglang boom. Wala naman. Sausage. Biglang boom. No. Ako sa Hindi, wala nga lumalabas. Clickbait lang. And that most of the times I ask my wife for a hug or when she's feeling down or upset because she doesn't like to be clingy or needy. So she internalizes and goes quiet. Off-screen mode when streaming? Okay. Di ko sure kung paano gawin yun. Because she doesn't like to be clingy or needy, so she internalizes and goes quiet. I tell her I need a hug because of one thing or another, so I can comfort her without making her feel like she's inconveniencing me.
Defend this realm without pause.
I know an art of loss.
Yeah, that her mom called her for the moment before she died. When her mom was dying, she was in the room with her for almost 24 hours straight and left for 30 seconds. And I was there in those 30 seconds. Her mother died, but not before calling for my wife. I don't know if it will haunt her or not, but I just don't think it's something she needs to know. Yan. Wala akong secondary monitor. Although, dalawa yung laptop na ginagamit ko. Kaso hindi ko mapagana yung parang naka-project as second screen dun sa second laptop ko.
The sun lights my path.
Return soon. You must rip him apart.
Grabe. Yung nalala ko na naman yung pusa ng friend ko, si Bonky. Yung takot sa akin. Nag-send kagabi yung friend ko ng video. Yan ako na sa Facebook. Sino ba yun? Bonky. Ay, nakamute. Nakakatawa na nakakaawa. Ayan o. Tapos talagang inaamoy niya ko andun ako. Kasi nung first time ko siyang na-meet, nung hinag ko siya, dumikit yung pabango ko sa kanya. Kaya nung pagdating nung fur dad niya sa condo nila, parang naka-stress, yung boba eyes. Pag yung naka-boba eyes kasi siya, ibig sabihin, he's on the lookout. Oo, parang stress. Tapos ayun, ito yung isa pang video na sinin. Hinahanap niya ako sa ilalim ng table.
I never remain anywhere for long.
Bonky. Pansin siya, mas gusto niya na hindi siya pinapansin. Na siya, may pagka-avoidant. Nung pagkapasok ko pa lang ng kwarto, sumugod ako sa kanya. So, natakot ko. This crazy woman. Go away. Tapos dun pa ako umuupo dun sa monoblock na inuupuan niya lagi. So, parang di siya mababad trip sa akin. Pero naman siya. Pero pag natamaan mo naman yung weak spot niya, gusto niya kasi ng chin rubs. So, yun. Okay naman. Oo. So, good. Pero kawa naman siya. Kami na nga niyang nickname Budong, Bonks, Batong Kodonks. What story are you just dying to tell but haven't found an Ask Reddit thread for? I fell off a chair 10 times, hit my head on a table 10 times in the same day. Nalala ko tuloy yung classmate ko nung grade school, grade 3. Tapos, ginaganon niya yung desk ko. Eh, di ba yung desk na naka-attach dun sa chair. Ganun yung chair namin. Tapos parang nagagalit siya sa akin kasi parang inaasar ko siya. Eh, nakalimutan ko na kung ano yung sinabi ko sa kanya. Tapos parang, ano siya, na-offend ng sobra. Pero, aminado naman ako kasalanan ko nagalit siya. Tapos, nung tinulak niya ako, nung napalakas, tumumba ako patagilid. Tapos muntik na ako mabagok doon sa katabi kong chair. Tapos, pagkabangon ko, nagulat ako, bakit siya yung umiiyak, hindi ako. Kasi natakot daw siya na isumbong ko daw siya. Hindi ko talaga makakalimutan yun.
Testament to my glory.
Yeah. So when I was 5, my mother and I went to the zoo. Burger Zoo, Arnhem, Netherlands. We always took a suitcase because, well, it's handy. Well, in an area in that zoo called the Bush, indoor jungle biome area, as there were a lot of adventurous paths, with stones in the water where you're supposed to cross the water with, rope bridges, etc. So we locked our suitcase to a pole with a bike lock. We're in the Netherlands, remember, everyone has access to those. And did walk through the adventurous part of the bush. After some time, we came back, unlocked our suitcase, and went to the bush building's exit. Yun. There is an employee with a walkie-talkie asked my mother, "Is that your suitcase?" My mother simply said yes, not knowing what was the issue. Turns out the zoo staff thought there was a bomb in the suitcase. Ay, nako. Nagmukha pang terorista yung namin.
Their fort is in ruins.
Bolster our fort's defenses.
Your killing spree has concluded.
Parang walang masyadong ano. Ano? Puro ano naman yung mga kabit-kabit, hiwalayan. Uso tuloy yung kalbo na na hairdo. Nox? Kinabahan ka rin ba? Nagpapakalbo or skinhead. Oo nga. Hikers, campers, and hunters, what is the most creepy or unexplained thing you've experienced in the wild? Parang yung naalala ko yung kwento mo na takot at tae.
Outstanding.
May nakita nga ako na. Hindi pa.
Our core is under attack.
Mm.
Despair not. Our time shall come.
MVP.
Taray Badger, oh. Mm.
It is time.
Click. Mm. Mm. Siyempre, malamang. Ano lang. Oh. Oh. Mm. 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 Shit! Oh. Putang ina. Wait lang, kinakabahan ako. Nakikilabutan ako sa mga ganyang ano. Sige, go lang. Mm. Mm. Hmm. Parang hindi pa. Kaya nga, brave yarn. Oh, ah, nung kami nga nag-camping, Diyos ko, ayoko nang ulitin yun. Okey na ako. Tik pa akong madurog ng baka. Tas andun na ako sa point na parang, tatanggapin ko ba ako mo iilag ba ako or hahayaan ko na lang na maging ganito yung fate ko. Kasi sobrang sakit na rin talaga ng katawan ko dun, ang sakit ng likod ko.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Camping? Ay, bundok and camping? Oo. Oo, tas maulan pa nun.
Ever onward.
Oo, yun nga din sabi nung mga ano na yung Mount Ulap daw pang day hike lang siya. Tapos, anong tawag dun? Pero buti na lang din, makulimlim nung paakyat kami. Hindi masyadong nakakapagod. Kasi parang feeling ko, hulas talaga dun. Kung maaraw. Ayun. Parang okay na ako. Hindi ko na siya uulitin. Balan. Parang hindi talaga ako pang outdoors.
Oh dear. The beacons are energizing. You have to control them.
Oo. Bago ko ma-experience yung takot or tae or yung badger thing. Badger sa Pilipinas? Kaya nga, hindi, I mean, imposible. Magulat ka kung magkaroon ng badger sa Pilipinas. And yun, what's with the blood thing? Wala, meron kasing post sa Facebook na yung mga celebrity kalbo yung parang mga natitirang loyal na lang.
Nice. Enemy slain.
Ano yun? Ito. 3 years ago, my old man was an avid outdoorsman in the Colorado Rockies in the late 80s. He'd go on week-long treks with his buds. One summer, first, they set up camp in a ravine they thought was safe. That night, my dad unzipped the tent to take a leak in the dark, and outside stood a pair of pale bare feet. My dad screamed and zipped up the tent. Everyone else woke up and asked what was wrong. Saka nakakatakot din yung mga, lalo na yung mga horror movies noong 90s na tipong yung mga road trip gone wrong, ganun. Oh. Parang, nope. Hills Have Eyes. Shit. Parang isa yun sa mga ayokong panoorin. Pinaka na-trauma ako sa Jeepers Creepers. Kung ikaw ba naman balatan ng buhay, tapos gamitin ng killer yung buong skin mo. Saka yung nakapasok sila dun sa tube na puro dead people. Uso pa nun yung magre-rent ka, yung mga Video City, Aka Video, ganun. Yung mga panahon. Tapos yung S-Fogs. Yung mga hala, hindi mo na yun? Yung S-Fogs, yung website na puro mga scary. Doon nang galing yung Shutter eh. Shutter ba? Hindi. Ba yun? Ang lame ng childhood mo. Charot. Sabagay. Correct. Saka yung mga videos nga doon, hindi ko mapanood eh. No. Dahil. No. Baka mamaya, kaka 1 year lang ng laptop ko, mabalibag ko to agad. Moving on. My dad said someone was barefoot out there. They went out and flashed their lights for a bit, hollering. My dad swore he saw what he saw and described the feet in detail. Parang yung si takot at tae. They were old, blotchy feet. One even had a lump on the ankle. Have you ever tried Hotel 626? No, never. Kahit ngayon, kung meron pa siya, I'd never try. Tony, his bud, asked which foot, left or right. My dad said it was the right. Then Tony said they needed to move their camp immediately. Dad asked why. Tony said they didn't have time. They went along with it and packed up and moved on top of the hill. The next morning they woke up to find the flash flood had torn through the ravine during the night. It would have surely killed them. Tony's grandfather had just died a month prior, and one of the last things he said to him was that he would always watch over him. Wow. The feat my dad described reminded Tony of his grandfather's very feat. My dad is highly religious.
We're dead.
Of paranoia saved their lives that night. Parang hindi naman ganun din ka-scary. Ito pa. Out in the boundary waters in Minnesota, I could hear the strange music way in the distance. It didn't sound like any instrument, but it wasn't quite natural either. I never did figure out what it was. It lasted only a minute or so. We were miles from civilization. Baka ano to? Jibaro. Ah, yun na yun. Parang ang boring naman ng mga ano. Sa... Ano?
Excellent. The enemy will have to deal with a much larger wave of Zerg than we will.
Ooh. Oh. Baka may nag-video okay lang eh, no?
Engage carefully or make a quick escape.
Ay, wait lang. Thank you so much for the follow, Hamad9757. Okay. Ano yun? Ano pa to?
I remind you that the Zerg are chewing apart our base. Do something about them.
May Reddit kaya din yun. Pero iba-iba siyang ano.
Fort destroyed. They got a fort, but we're still in this.
Ito, yung story time Reddit. What cringe company office culture made you quit? Ito nga. Legit daw yung story ni JP. There's also the Manlalamon. Ano yung sa Manlalamon? Wait lang. Ito. Ano pa? Nakamit. Naririnig mo ba, James? Paano ko kaya nakaparinig sa'yo yung ang tawag dun? Oo, pero kasi nasa Discord na. Oo. How? Ano nga? Ito. Oh.
Awesome work. You earned that talent.
Yung receptionist, pinalitan nila ng description, director of first impression. Buti na lang hindi guest relations officer, di ba? Okay na yung director of first impressions. Grabe naman to 29 minutes. Pero let's go. Shit. Puta. Name ng mountain yung mga pala.
Not my company, but a company from a neighboring building. They had an entire area devoted to football, pinball, billiards, console gaming, and video booths on the ground floor, and it was clearly visible because of the glass windows on street level. Oddly enough, nobody ever used them, and the place was almost always empty save for a few people who use the internet kiosks. When I learned a friend worked there, I asked why nobody would want to take the opportunity to use the awesome looking recreational facility. He told me that
Ah shit, may ad na naman. Eh.
Let your hair decide. With 90% natural origin ingredients, herbal essences gently nourishes, repairs, and hydrates. Feel what's real. Try how herbal essences.
Di ba luma na to?
people who do use the facility often found it used against them during performance evaluations, even when their use wasn't excessive at all. After a while, word got around and they started avoiding the place altogether. The irony is that their recruitment ads always touts the culture of work hard, play hard. We had a
Hard play hard na yan. Mga kasinungaling na. Ano tawag doon? Hindi naman trap. Basta. Yan.
problem with the client and the boss dumped all of the blame on a 24-year-old woman who was basically his most loyal employee. He made her cry in front of the client, as if that would somehow help save the relationship.
I know a local company that has recreation room like that no one also uses. Nung nag-BPO naman ako, ay mga gumagamit naman ng mga PlayStation, chemical. Pero, ano ba? Yung isang clinic where I work, sobrang chillax lang ng management. Kasi kung sino yung director, siya rin yung lahat-lahat. Kumbaga parang wala nang succession in it's just the secretary, tapos siya na. Tapos, sobrang chill lang niya talaga na boss, kaya hirap din akong mag-decide, umalis. Nagbigay ng Tapos, parang pag vacant ka, wala kang patient, pwede ka naman matulog. Hindi ka lang pwedeng pwede kang matulog not just dun sa tawag doon, pwede ka pa matulog dun sa gym or dun sa area kung saan nagtitreat. Tapos kami, meron kasi kaming parang foam doon para pang-challenge ng balance ng kids. Tapos nilalatag namin siya sa ilalim ng tawag doon, sa ilalim ng slide. Meron kasi doon slide na may mga natutulog kami doon. Ako yung mahilig. May time na parang lagi akong bakante, so ako yung lagi natutulog doon. Meron slide na may parang butas-butas. Tapos nakakatawa yung ibang mga bata. Inaabot talaga nila ako. Tapos, sabi nga ng ibang therapist, hindi nagtatanong yung mga bata kung buhay ka ba or patay na. Kasi minsan mo ka ng patay na nakahandusay dun sa baba. Tapos meron pa palang kwento. Yung isang speech, sa ibang clinic naman to, may mga ISO rooms kasi para maiwasan yung distraction dun sa kid. May isang therapist doon na may parang sleeping problems, kumbaga. Tapos, tawag doon, bigla siya nakatulog in the middle of the session. Tapos, yung workmate ko na speech, nandun siya sa kabilang ISO room. May parang uwang ata yun, so medyo maririnig mo. Tapos naririnig daw niya yung bata, Teacher, wake up! Are you okay? Teacher, you're not waking up! Are you dead? Nakakatawa. Yan, nagising naman daw yung therapist sa kabilang ISO room. Pero nakakatawa, kawawa yung bata. Nagpanic tuloy yung teacher niya. Narcolepsy. Oo ata. Parang ganun yung... Basta parang ganun Hindi, legit ano ata talaga na diagnosed na sleep disorder. Ganun. Ay, kaloka.
When I went to firm drinks in a public bar and the firm's fund committee handed out song sheets and a choir of employees led by a bad guitarist sang a song about how great the firm was to the tune of "Of Course I'm Happy," we were expected to sing along. It was at that moment I realized I was in a cult. Brought out by an equity group. New president on call with thousands of employees says, "We have two kinds of employees, those that work a tremendous number of hours, and those that should find another company to work for." I'm in management and we just got the message that bonuses for the last financial year were severely cut across the business. Probably going to receive 30% of our total potential at best. Then attended our financial end of year results meeting the next day to be told that net profits were 18% up, nearly 1 billion total, and the best performance in years. All thanks to us. Okay, planning on leaving now. Edit, cleared up the 30%. Lush, when we couldn't say bathroom on the shop floor and instead had to ask a manager for serenity. Treat every dollar like it was your own. Yeah, right after we went well over targets for the entire year and then was told a Christmas party wasn't financially viable because expenses. It's one of the biggest hospitality groups in Australia, BTW. When I took a 40% pay cut, with no change in workload, by being moved to salary.
Shit, ang I'd move out than to take a pay cut. Grabe. Especially ngayon na, alam mo yun, parang mas mataas naman ng onte sa minimum wage yung kinikita ko. Pero parang di ko ramdam. Parang, hindi, parang dapat, parang makakaahon ka na sa hirap. Pero parang bakit ganun sa sobrang taas ng inflation rate? As in, siya. Parang, ano na? Diba? Na parang sa bahay maswerte na ako kasi nga kahati ko sa expenses yung mga kapatid ko and wala akong anak or pinapag-aral and all. Tapos nanay lang namin ang main cargo namin. It's tatlo pa kami naghahati-hati. Tapos parang wala rin naman kaming rent na binabayaran kasi sa lola ko tong bahay na 'to. Pero bakit gano'n? Ang hirap mag-ipon na oo, may naiipon naman pero hindi alam mo 'yun, parang saan napupunta? Partida hindi na ako gumagastos sa figs, hindi rin ako kumakain na sa labas. Hindi nga ako nag-ano na, hindi na rin ako tawag dun, minsan hindi na rin ako nag-lunch, hindi na ako nagbe-breakfast, minsan hindi rin ako nagdi-dinner. So ano na, unlike noon nung pre-pandemic, nakakaipon pa talaga ako. Pero parang ngayon anyari, although kasi yung load ko naman ngayon, hindi gano'n kalakas unlike nung nung pre-pandemic. Although kasi nagtaas na ako ngayong pandemic. Pero parang, sana. Ang hirap mag-ipon, oo. Kaya,
We treat our employees like family, ignores harassment claims, hires from outside the company, refuses to give out decent pay, will write you up for doing overtime. But
wait lang. Wait lang. Paano iyan yung mga messages sa okay. Okay. Kasi yung Mga GC namin sa bahay. Kita. Wala naman. Chat reveal? Ano yun?
The CEO just bought himself a new BMW. I hate that place. We, management team, spent months working with a business coach trying to collectively come up with meaningful core values. We devoted a ton of time to it and really tried to decide which direction we wanted to take the company culture. Everybody agreed on teamwork, reliability, a couple others that I can't remember now. And then one day the owner came in and called a meeting. He sat us down in the boardroom and told us he spent all weekend brainstorming and had decided on the core values. They were ownership, neighborhood, engagement.
Money.
Does anybody see what that spells? He literally wanted it to be money and just came up with words that sort of worked the way you do in elementary school writing your name poem. He rebranded the entire company from t-shirts with giant first letters and smaller letters for the rest of the word straight down the arms, to plagues, wraps on the cars, every ducking thing. And that's when we all knew it was going to get bad. Money is great, but it was mortifying driving around with that plastered everywhere. This is what the woman who interviewed me said. Here at Cheapskate Architects we don't often do all-nighters for our customers, but when we do, it's a real pizza party. Also we don't pay overtime. We do it for the love. And your wage is 22k even though you are an architect.
Grabe, 22k. Siguro in dollars naman to, pero you're an architect in overseas. Parang hindi siya ano. Oo. Yeah.
My pleasure.
Also I won't be there because I'm HR management because I'm married to the director. Yes, we need an hour deck even though there's 3 employees. My last job was at an independent school in the UK, the wealthy type. During a period of streamlining, the entire faculty were called into a hall and told, in upbeat terms, that we were struggling to make ends meet. Salaries were too high, perks were too abundant and spending was unsustainable. For clarity, salaries weren't too high, and perks were practically non-existent. Spending was definitely unsustainable however, in part because they were spending hundreds of thousands redesigning the senior staff offices to hide all the cabling and install proper wood paneling. So then they started listing off perks and assigning them a value. For example, free parking. Well, know it, the school has a lot of land and isn't in a city. Why would you charge? Secondly, nice surroundings. Well again, know it, that's part of your marketing appeal. Long holidays, nice try. But I work all holiday. They didn't even get as far as telling me what they planned to do with my job and pay. I was gone in less than 3 months. Not me, but my husband worked for 2 weeks for a family-owned and operated business that touted how important family was and that they were all one happy family. My husband was on his way to drop our at the time 2-year-old son off at daycare before work when son threw up all over himself. Husband called his employer to tell them what happened and that he needed to take son home and clean him up but he'd be in a sack. His manager told him he needed to get his
Wait lang screen ko na lang para ano.
priorities straight. He responded with, you know what, you're right, I won't be back in it all. He was still working part-time at his previous job where they had been sad that he was leaving. So he called them and told them to put him back on the schedule full-time. The family business is currently in the process of liquidating assets before going out of business and I cackle every time I drive past it. My district manager told me to talk my keyholder out of going back to college. Mind you, she wanted to be a doctor. They were proud that no one had degrees. That's fine, but I'm not working 45 plus hours a week and
Shut up.
New Olay body lotion with 99% pure niacin.
Hello, Byron.
Skin from within. Shine bright in just 20
Hindi ko nga alam eh. Unlike sa YouTube,
Three
pag
holidays
ano,
just to sell some shoes. The loyalty my co-workers had was so cringy. They didn't understand how we were being taken advantage of because we didn't get our degrees. Anyways, F you. Going back to school was the best decision I've made. This happened a couple of weeks ago, when HR sent out an email to management, excluding me and about 2 other people, telling them to fraudulently leave good reviews on Glassdoor and to coerce others to do the same. Edit. I'm not exactly on a throwaway, so I'm going to refrain from mentioning the company at this time. However, it looks like this is a common issue and there needs to be a better way to call this out. Had a wall of crazy where the CEO wanted to spend 20k on cool and G stuff for the office and staff could make suggestions.
ano yung tawag? Ano yun? Akala ko pag nakasub. O, yung sa ano kasi to, yung sa Facebook. Sa Facebook na ano, hindi ko alam paano tanggalin yung ads. Hindi ko alam kung ang tawag dun.
Merely a setback.
I could use some help here.
The altars are rising heroes. Do get ready.
Diba? Parang wala siyang unlike sa YouTube na YouTube Premium. Premium!
Beanbags, napping pots, etc. Project was scrapped when the top suggestions ended up being desks, chairs, working heating, working Wi-Fi, health insurance. Edit. Not American or Swedish. I worked at this business that was real keen on telling everyone they were like a family and chastising me for not going to
Diyos
company.
ko, pinaka-ayoko ng ganito. Ano yun? Ano yun? Telling everyone they were like family and chastising me for not going to company parties, etc. Parang, ito ba? Pag family, pero pag absent ka nga, parang pahirapan mag-file ng leave.
Mine.
Welcome to the future.
Tsaka parang usually hindi pa kayo nag-uusap-usap kasi nga parang sobrang busy ng lahat. Tapos parang iba-iba pa yung lunch break nyo.
Will do for now.
Wala. Ay, nako.
Company parties etc. But that also refused to pay overtime and expected me to work late 2 or 3 times a week, as well as doing a 14-hour-a-day twice a month for stock take end of month. Apparently because we're a family, we were all expected to chip in on the big days, except it was literally just us bottom-tier workers who had to stay late. I quit that place and never looked back.
Yes, good for you.
When I started actually working on the floor and management was nowhere to be found.
Having trouble staying out.
Grabe, ano yun? Nowhere to be found. Shit. Bakit odd one out?
I started actually working on the floor and management was nowhere to be found. I worked at bank and one of my colleagues was stabbed 30 times by a customer. I was completely shaken. The next morning we were taken into a big room and made to
Grabe yung 30 times. Grabe naman. Worth hazard yan. Hindi lang one or twice, but 30 times.
All the others.
I will not return to those wretched mines.
Tapos ano pa? What the
Signed a
heck?
document saying we wouldn't sue them. If we didn't sign, we'd lose our jobs. Also, my colleague was stabbed only a month after they got rid of our security guard to save money.
Oh my god!
Since so many people have asked, he did survive.
He did
He
survive.
lost an eye and now lives.
Putang
But he's
ina.
alive at least. Edit 2. Bank is essentially British Home Depot. When our university's VP explained that the goal of every tenured faculty member was to write enough grants to pay our salaries and replace us with TAs, Every
Anong
semester,
TA?
ideally every undergrad class. Also, we'd be under a hiring freeze
At
that could feel
teacher assistant?
The aspect of life watches over you.
Teaching assistant.
free to be creative and use temporary grant money to hire tenured faculty. Also, we'd all be paying an extra $250 a year in parking fees to fund a new student parking lot. Dear Lord, I'm glad I'd already decided to leave. Eater, I cannot identify the state university system in question. The comments suggest that it's not alone in its approach. If you're looking for a good college to attend, ask plenty of questions. For the love of God, ask about accreditation and do not take when finalizing it right now as an answer. Nor we're accredited by the 3 other colleges we're co-scamming with. If you're more specifically concerned about the problem I describe, ask probing questions about the percentage of classes taught by full-time faculty, and grab copies of the course catalog and campus directory faculty list to check the reality of offerings. I would also ask about advising. Colleges without advising staff offload that duty onto professors, and that can make it very difficult to get your advisor's attention. I worked at Outback. The amount of team meetings and mandatory enthusiasm was ridiculous.
Mandatory enthusiasm. Parang yun din yung mahirap mahirap pakatawan. Yung parang urat ka na sa work pero oo. Oo. Parang bakit mo dinadala ang problema mo sa trabaho? Ay, naka. Ay. Wala. Ayaw nyo kayo papag-leave. Tapos, gagalit kayo pag nag-work ako. Wala na nga kaming VLSL. No work, no pay lang kami. Galit. Although, yung sa isa ko namang clinic, yung may awesome bond nga ako. Okay naman siya. As in, noong una, parang pag magpapaalam ka sa kanya na, ma'am, I'll be away for a week, ganyan. I'll be on. Tapos parang, magugulat ka sa reply niya, okay. Yung mga ganun lang. Unlike sa iba na parang basta. Oo. Parang maano ka pa na treat sa kids, ganyan. Parang, so lang po mo ba kayo? Ilang araw lang naman na kailangan. Parang, ay, nako. Yung tipong kailangan mo nang ma-aksidente bago ako payagan na ano.
Ridiculous. I was given the chance to backpack across Europe with some friends for about 3 weeks one summer. I told my manager and she'd go 3 weeks. I don't know. You'll really have to work hard up until then and then I'll let you know if you can take that time off. I straight up told her it's not if you let me go. It's if you still let me work here when I get back. When I got back I immediately started looking for new jobs. My last job was for a large cinema chain. The incentive of working there was free.
Yun, old team I was in used to have a culture if you take your allotted VL, you have to make it up for overtime. Yeah, may ganun din na factor. Parang yung isa ko rin pinag-workan before na Oo, binawi mo lang din. Or kung hindi ka mag-makeup sessions, ipapasok siya sa ibang therapist. Tapos, meron pa na pag nagbakasyon ka, kailangan mong pagbalik mo, may yung pasalubong to make up for the Although wala namang kaso sa pasalubong bilang gusto ko naman din namimili ng pasalubong for friends and workmates. Pero kung choosy pa, grabe naman kung choosy pa. Although, meron na ba ako na-experience na may nag-reclap? Parang wala naman din so far. My last job is for a large city mission.
Great culture with the colleagues. This seemed great on paper. There were 5 pillars of the company, a newish thing since they were bought out, one of them being Ossifen. Now I worked at one of the largest branches in the company, with 50-ish employees at the time. Every morning before we opened the doors, the managers made us huddle together like a football team and gave us our morning pep talk. Alright guys, listen up. Today is going to be great. We've got UX movie and whoever sells the most of Y promotional item gets a free soda drink.
Grabe yung free soda drink lang.
It's going to
Wow.
be amazing. Can you top this week's record for best reviews?
Oh my God.
Whoever gets the most good reviews today gets a free popcorn. Whoa, man, I hated it so much. No one cared, but they preached this speech at the beginning of every shift change despite every single employee being completely
deadpan.
It was like a school care worker trying to get adults to play bricks and build the tallest tower. Awful.
Awful. True.
I learned at an internship that we work hard and play hard means we want.
True ito. Work hard and play hard. You work hard and play hard means we want you to work 75-hour weeks. Kaya ano yun, competitive salary. It's a trap. Competitive din yung workload kumbaga. Ay, nako. I mean, that's what managers are paid. Actually get a spiel or talking point. Saka parang may iba talaga na magaling parang mambola ng empleyado.
One of our keeps has been destroyed.
Tapos magagalit pag kinall out or you give a constructive feedback. Basta, yung ano lang magsalita.
You to work 75-hour weeks, but sometimes we'll put donuts in the break room.
Donuts in
When
the break.
attending a management retreat and was pressured into buying charity raffle tickets.
Ayan. To hype employees for coaching for employee discussions. Tapos meron pa yung mga tipong parang pa-pizza or pa-party keme. Parang as if that's gonna be mass resignation issue. Mm. Mm. Grabe na nakakaloka. Parang madadaan. Siyempre, madadaan mo kami sa pagkain. Pero the next day, masama pa rin loob namin kasi hindi pa rin nare-resolve yung issue. Ay, nako. Mm-mm.
Watch yourself out here.
Okay na. Oo.
My kind of trouble.
Nga, yung co-therapist ko sa isang clinic, nag-send ng voice message na mag-resign ka na. Tapos, hindi ko siya hindi ko na-adjust yung volume ng phone ko. And nandun ako sa isang clinic basta nandun ako sa isang clinic nung na-play ko yun. Tapos, tawag doon, narinig siya ng isang staff, pero medyo alay naman namin yung staff na yun. Wag lang talaga siyang susplok.
Take the altars and put an end.
Ay, nako. Kaloka. Ano yan? I'm so tempted to spill BPO team / management practices. Gusto mo bang sumali sa Tapos mamaya wala na siyang ano, walang trabaho si Dan the next day. Narinig pala ng ano, may nanonood pala. May nanonood palang galing management.
Tickets I couldn't afford.
Tapos no, ako rin pala wala na ring trabaho. Although, yung isa kong yung isa kong clinic, wala talaga akong masasabi tol. Yung isa, tapos biglang may nanonood pala eh, no? Tapos biglang wala ka ng trabaho the next day. It's parang deep inside. Yes!
$20. The two people who won before me donated their winnings to the same charity they bought. They were middle management pissing match people who make $100 K plus. I made $32 K. With a young daughter, I won a drawing for $400. I literally had nausea for 2 days trying to figure out how I was going to pay my bills after my job had just moved the goalposts on some sales performance bonuses I had coming my way, dropping it effectively from $1,000 to $2.
Ito na naman yung ads. Ano ba?
Sana all mabigyan kong gatas.
Uy,
Church tree si Liza.
Yes, $7.50 lang per glass.
Para sa lahat, birch tree
Ba yan? Hasa na? Ano?
Now I'm the
Ano? Oo nga, yung gatas ni Ton. Nasa mid kaya si Ton. Tapos sakto numinom pa rin siya ng birch tree hanggang ngayon. Kaya kayo kung gusto nyo magkaroon ng anak na pro gamer, painumin nyo ng birch tree.
I see my grave was well placed.
So who's going to...
Oo.
MVP.
Batang laking birch tree. Sa pro meal. Oo. Ang tunay na mga gifted child, birch tree yung iniinom. Huwag din kayong iinom ng gain kasi yun yung ininom ko. Ininom ko nung bata ako. So, walang nangyari. Depressed lang kayo. Ganun.
Gain?
May attention deficiency problems.
to keep the money I
Paano kung Angkor?
Guess I'm not...
Angkor? Bakit? Ano mo sa Angkor?
Feeling ko mga ano yan, mga kings yung mga nag-Angkor. Yung recluse, nagiging hermit.
Profiling. And hindi na siya MBTI. Sa gatas na siya. Sa gatas na yung personality.
Community.
Ano?
Sustagen.
Sustagen. Pag ano ba, James? Ano pag sustagen? Anong...
Si James na.
Yes! Loyal! Combo yan. Kalbo na. Sustagen, ano pa. Yun daw talaga ang sikreto sa ano. Parang, dapat tatanungin mo, anong gatas mo?
Would you rather be loyal or talented?
Depende kung anong goal mo. Kung gusto mong maging single, edi talented. Kung gusto mong may makasama sa buhay, edi loyal. Tapos maghanap ka ng partner na talented. O, diba? Easy.
Not a team player.
Pwede ka naman rin maging talented and then you can attract someone loyal.
Kung ikaw yung cheater. Oo. Paano kung cheater ka? Oo.
Mas kina-talented.
Oo. Talented cheater, Wala. You end up losing mo.
True, true.
It was 4 hours drive from home, had an overnight stay, and one of those middle management ducks in an example of what should be on or off the clock said we shouldn't be paid for the drive to the retreat. Duck you. I was on the
Okay.
clock from the time I left Friday until I got home
Shit.
Sunday. If you're forcing me to be somewhere as part of my job.
Basta about clocking in and out. I was on the clock from the time I left Friday until I got home Sunday. So, nag-work pa rin siya from Friday until Sunday. Pinapwersa pa rin. Tama ba? Parang yung pagkakaintindi ko.
It's all on the clock. My district manager didn't like that, and I was already looking for the door. This is for Flight Center headquarters in Brisbane, Australia.
Yan
but
yung
they are a
usually,
global
I think,
company.
like sa mga team outings where they don't, or even like regular work where they don't count yung travel time as hours, part of work hours. Which is technically parang sa Philippines not really like that. But although in US, I think Europe or your practices, they also count like travel time as part of work hours. Sales usually do, where they count travel time as part of work hours.
Sana all.
Yeah.
Tapos paano no, nakatira ka sa kunwari probinsya or as far as Baguio. Para lang yung biyahe mo mabilang sa salary mo. Pagkaapak mo pa lang sa work, bye! Uwi agad. Kasi papunta pa lang 6 hours na. Tapos bumalik ko 12 hours. So parang 5 minutes ka lang sa office nyo. Pero bayad pa rin. Kaya nun. Nagtrabaho ka pa rin mag-travel. Mm. Yeah. Mm. 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 Mm.
You know that. Like yung labor tracking, like when on the computer na you have to change what activity that you're doing each time.
For the love of...
Yeah. Going directly to what you're supposed to.
Battle commencing in.
Oo! Kulang na lang pa-install ka ng CCTV sa kwarto para makita ng employer ng.
For calendar.
Yeah.
I'm amazed they still do that. I think some of that where if you don't move or if your mouse
May ganyan nga.
will change
Kasi
to your
iba,
on break.
yung iba ang ginagawa, dinidikit nila yung mouse nila sa electric fan.
Oo, para nagmo-move.
Para laging gumagalaw.
Some of them actually have, if the window doesn't shift, like if the mouse doesn't move and the window it doesn't shift, or like if a certain application isn't up on your window for a while, that's when it also changes. So parang mas mahirap na gawin yung tracker thing. Yung like moving under the mouse tactic. Crazy. Like, that's fun.
Paranoid boomer bosses.
Trading under many names. I think it's...
Mm. 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 Yun din. Mm.
Aren't most BPOs already lobbying for that? Actually, if not most, yeah, all. It's just yung PESA. Yeah, that's stopping them. And I think even PESA's changing. Kasi, dude, yeah, companies are saving on room rent, or space rent, utilities, diba? No more water stations, no more
Pizza
bathroom
party.
maintenance, no more pizza party. Although I think some have contracts kasi where they have like yung mga special equipment that they have to give back. Or yung that's like tied to the client that they have to maintain, and like they just don't trust employees to like keep those or maintain those machines outside the office.
I must pull back.
I deserve no less.
Basta ako, mas preferred ko pa rin face-to-face. Ayoko na mag-accept ng kailangan hands-on. Nakakatawa, hindi ko alam kung malas ba ako as a therapist or kasi halos lahat ng hinuhome ko parang isang buong household yung tinitreat ko minsan. Kasi parang nung before, usually yung kid lang yung mayroon. There was a certain time na or season na parang pati yung parents nagpapacheck na sa akin ng mga injuries nila. Tapos meron akong isang kid na super heavy niya. So parang yung mom may injury sa kamay. Yung dad may injury sa shoulder. Tapos ngayon, itong bago kong patient na Jeria, na-refer lang siya sa akin kasi parang because of the pandemic, wala masyadong physical activity, so parang nagde-deteriorate. Tapos, lately, bumagsak yung husband niya. So ngayon, parang silang kailangan kong i-treat. So parang malas ba ako as a therapist na parang nagkaka-injury yung well, both, lahat, paid naman. Oo. Yeah. Yeah. Oo. Hindi na ako mag-aano sa pamasahe. Saka, kumbaga, hindi na rin sila maghahanap ng ibang therapist eh.
Are you sure na malas? I think it's more of one man's pain is another man's pleasure. Diba? Because basically, you have more patience. You're getting more patience with the stuff.
Yeah.
Bakit di ka malas? Maybe it's a blessing. A curse to one, but a blessing to another.
Pero tawag dun, hindi ko naman pinatid yung mga pasyente ko. Hindi naman din ako yung nag-cause ng injury nila para...
But hindi naman like debilitating, di ba? It's just like mga temporary stuff.
Usually naman.
Oh, yeah.
Tapos yung isa kong boss ko nga, yung cool boss ko, parang halos lahat na ng family members niya, pinitingin niya sa akin kasi kung nasobrahan sa exercise and all. Tapos sabi ko nga sa kanya, Ma'am, bakit ganun? Parang kayo na lang yung hindi ko pa natitreat sa pamilya niyo. Sabi niya, strong ako eh. Ako kasi yung hindi nag-exercise sa family nila eh. Parang feeling ko na-validate tuloy yung pagiging hater ko ng... Well, for me, personally, ayoko kasi nag-exercise. Kaya parang hindi lang pala ako yung galit sa exercise. Samantalang ibang mga tao, hayok mag-exercise. Gym bro! Lift naman tayo, bro! Bro, pa-check nga naman ito, bro. Form ko. Squat lang ako saglit. Check mo nga.
Liberty travel in the...
Ano?
Spot me.
Oo. Bro, ang bigat, bro.
States.
Your form, mali.
Everything
Should
about
do
the
it this
company
way.
internally scrapped.
No.
Ay, di pala, bro. It's no longer bro. It's bruh. Bruh.
Cringe. Everyone treats the CEO like a ducking god. His name is Screw, and when he takes a selfie it's called a scruffy.
Oh my god.
They opened a foreign exchange ATM at the head office that they called a scrutum, which sounds like scrotum if you ask me. It's duck.
Hindi naman ito totoo. Pero kung totoo man siya, bakit siya pumasa?
Fucking ridiculous. When I was asked to sleep with a potential client, edit the rest of the story. At the time I was in my early 20s. I'm female. Looking back I realize I had more going on looks-wise than I knew back then. This was decades ago. My boss, business owner, always told us that he thought of the office as one big family. He also referred to the female employees as his girls. A new client is coming into the office. My boss called me into his office and told me he was going to give me the company credit card so I could take the potential new client out for dinner and drinks. He told me to sleep with him. We need this client if everyone wants to get paid. Nice added pressure. I said no and the next day quit. A couple of months earlier my boss had invited me over to his house for dinner with his family and
what the fuck? No girl, no.
Swim in his pool because he said he knew how hard I had been working. I was a little surprised that he finally noticed and thought it was kind that he wanted to do something nice for me. I get there and his wife and kids are gone. But there is a 25-year-old guy in his pool, the son of a client who just got out of the army. He told me he was trying to fix me up on a date because I needed to get out more. Like an idiot I believed him. It wasn't until later that I realized that he was hoping I'd show more interest in the guy. I found out later that he had asked all the female employees at one point to sleep with clients. The secretary actually did. She was a young, single mom and was worried she'd be fired if she said no. After I quit she told me she wished she had the option to quit. I didn't realize what she was saying until we talked later. At the time his daughter was around 4 years old. When I quit I asked him how old would his daughter have to be before he asked her to sleep with clients. I thought he was going to hit me. I have 1,000 stories about working at this place. The guy was an unethical idiot. A dangerous combination. But I learned a lot about how to not run a business from him. I've owned my own business for 30 years now. I've never asked an employee to sleep with clients, or even go out for drinks. I had the benefit of growing up in a family with money. I wasn't earning much and would probably not have been able to quit and move without the assistance of my parents. I never told them what happened. When I told my dad I quit he was happy. You hated the place. Now that I'm older and times have changed, I would know what to do. I would hope he'd face consequences. Today this isn't considered a regular part of business. Me Too wasn't a thing back then. No one really cared. This was the only time I was directly asked to sleep with a client. But not the only time I faced sexual harassment at work. It was so common for me and my friends that when we pushed back against it we felt like we were really on the leading edge of changing work environments for women. I guess we were. But sad that we needed to be. I certainly hoped women didn't face this anymore. But the recent news set me straight on that.
Shit.
I was at
Parang pag ganyan, get out, girl. Kaya nga. Yeah. Parang dugaw din no.
I sent you something, by the way.
Them.
It's real. Yeah, it's real.
Shit, no.
a fast casual restaurant for a couple months and the GM always talked about the culture. You know what's a great culture? When the morning shift and night shift have their daily screaming matches over it that they each accuse the other one of needing to do. It was impressive just how incompetent the entire...
Wait lang. morning should not have therapy screaming.
Our company was from a
Nakakatawa kasi nga pag magkikita kami ng mga therapist doon sa isang clinic, parang magkikita lang kami, parang mapapagbuntong hinga kami, parang ayoko na. Tapos parang alam na namin sa isa't isa kung ano yung problema. Ay, nako.
ownership down. When my art director wanted to get a pro bono poster on verbal abuse done faster by screaming at the designer, my boss came up with a campaign called Smovers Smile and Move. We needed to be Smovers and encourage other associates to be happy that they worked for a dead-end retail corporate job. He gave us bracelets to wear and little cards to keep on our person at all times.
Parang ang hirap, no? Kung business owner ka, parang how would you would you rather take care of your employees or would you rather take care of your business? Parang feeling ko nga mahirap na ako yung maging boss. Yeah, kasi feeling ko malulugi yung kumpanya taking care of my... Yeah. Yeah. But based on experience, if you're a good boss, it will really show on the quality of work and yung parang kumbaga output ng employees mo. Yun lang.
But that's not really like an owner kasi boss naman can still just be like a middle manager. Feeling ko, just be honest with the financials. You can't say na your record-breaking profits and then walang bonuses, that sort of thing. Because those are like glaring red flags. Like, if you're transparent talaga with the finances, and then yun yung in-announce mo, and then how you do, like even split everything, then I'm feeling at least more, okay, this is how we're doing, this is how we're getting, because this is how the business. And then like instead of bonuses for high ups, like even you as an owner, you can just like have a high salary, just minting that. And anything that gets beyond that can be split as a percentage na across on the same percentage across everyone. Yeah, that's the pinaka.
Just be honest.
Like, we went to 30 times
I think that's also most of yung problem
in terms of what?
Yung bonuses. Like for example, the higher up you are, the larger your bonus tends to be, or really is. Like yung mga bonus mo is like 30%, and the lower it goes, the trickles down. That's when the budget gets smaller now because the bonuses been allotted to the higher ups. Yeah. That's why usually those at the bottom don't. But if you get like yung bonus is everyone, like mataas na salary mo, mataas pa bonus. Compared to mataas na salary mo, almost equally to everyone. Then dun na gets mo, everybody goes up. Everybody shouldn't or doesn't have almost the right to complain na they're not yet much. Then that's how we feel. Everybody got bonuses. Good.
Saka, kung sino pa yung walang masyadong ambag, yun pa yung may mas mataas yung huma.
Property, with owners who owned part of a small, independent timeshare in the early 2000s that was bought out by a huge hotel conglomerate that destroyed the entire aesthetic of what they originally invested into. So these are embittered, hateful people always wanting refunds for silly it like a broken treadmill in the gym. Literally had a grown-ass man, followed by his wife an hour later, yelling, raised voices in the lobby at my young visibly pregnant self because a lifeguard moved their towel from their beach chair after they left for 2 hours to take a nap in their room. On the 4th of July while we're at full capacity lol. On top of the daily emails reminding us that working for Wyndham was the best choice we've ever made in life. And constant reminders from upper management what our mission in life, your life's purpose, the reason you were born was to reason on a daily basis with unreasonable garbage humans as hard as you can until they give us a 5 on their surveys. I declined all requests for transfers and just got out as fast as I could. Last year
Huh?
I was working as a subcontractor and I was assigned a new place of work. Just 2 weeks after I started, the new boss wanted to hire me. He put down the contract where
Ito na. Ayoko na.
Ano na raw yan? It's a message for you to expand your social media presence. Mag-TikTok.
Ayoko na nga naman. Okay na ako rito. Ayoko na nagdagan pa yung problema ko.
Gamer house na.
contract. Pay was down 25%.
Grabe yung
Average weekly hours went
25%.
up by 20%. Vacation days went down by 10% and I wouldn't have a company car for personal use anymore. Before he actually handed me the contract to read it, he said, I will only make you this offer once, but it's only valid if you change all your pictures on your social media and you sell your car. It's too flashy for our company.
What the fuck? Bakit ganun? Pinoproblema pa ng kumpanya. Ay, naka.
Pizza Hut. Where will Pizza Hut take you? During the interview I was told the work is hard but we feel like a family and we can always itch about the bad customers after a shift. The people there were horrible. The managers made you do two people's jobs for less money. I was paid minimum wage for my age.
Kaya huwag kayong bida-bida sa work, lalo na pag napakita nyo na kaya nyong gawin yung trabaho ng dalawang tao. Buti sana kung dumodoble din yung sahod nyo. No.
God.
No.
You're bad business. Bad work practices. We're sharing bad work practices.
Hindi, dapat malaman yun ng mga baguhan. Usually yung mga ganyan yung mga baguhan na boss, please.
May lumang saying ngayon na the reward that you get for digging a hole is a bigger shovel. So sometimes that shovel gets very big. So be careful. Just identify what our priorities is in life. What we are working for.
Tanungin muna magkano yung dagdag sa sahod bago magpadagdag ng trabaho.
And the company purposely brought on 16-year-olds for that reason. I was also told that they didn't have enough money to pay me, so my shift was cancelled. I was told I'd be paid to complete my training, and I wasn't. Our manager would fling the corks of Prosecco bottles at the waitresses to make them scared. There would be regular breakdowns from cooks and waiters. I would regularly get screamed at in front of the whole restaurant for silly things like the knives and forks not being straight enough.
Sobrang hirap talaga pag yung boss mo pa may super OCD na parang, bakit hindi to diretsyo? Ganun. Ay, nako!
Even though they would leave me by myself, as in, I was the only waiter still working. 1 week after my first shift, the waitresses would always itch about the other people in the restaurant, and would shout at me for asking questions. Even on my first day, at one point an outside chef was brought in from a different restaurant and he didn't realize he had to wash up cutlery because he doesn't have to as his place. That's an entirely separate job. So we ran out of cutlery and the two more experienced waitresses, instead of helping me and washing up the cutlery or teaching me how to do it myself, would just hoard the cutlery so it was me that would run out. Then my manager would have another go at me. Duck that place. When I had to phone around to the corporation leaders to find out why none of the mechanics I had interviewed were hired. The mechanics had come from all over the country, and some had waited patiently for months to know if they got the job or not. Turned out the CEO had changed his mind and wanted me to take care of all mechanic work. I was a factory manager, but they knew I'd be upset, so neither he, HR or the COO wanted to be the one to tell me.
Hirap nun.
I worked for a company that prides itself on being in the top 100 places to work in the US. They bought the hospital I was working for currently while I was doing IT work there. For a year they let me stay at the current hospital I was at. I worked with a team for countless hours getting ready to switch out IT infrastructure over to match the place's new software, etc. We changed out all 900 computers at our location. After that was done, I was then told that in the next few months I would have to commute to the main campus to keep my job. A drive that for me was over 5 hours round trip. They did not offer me to transfer or even pay compensation for driving there. I was literally forced to quit at this point. All because a new manager took over on the new fiscal year and decided that the IT department I was in needed to all be at the main campus.
Grabe. Pag ganyan, quit na lang. Ayan yun na lang na may ibang magpauto sa mga ganyang sistema. Tapos parang lahat na yun, no, napagdaanan mo na. Parang wala ka nang malipatang kumpanya. Ano na lang, ang tawag doon, ang tawag doon, Adonis ka na lang or Cafe Habana. OnlyFans, gano'n. Yung mga post na, ang tawag doon, you're too old and not have the face for OnlyFans. Kaya mapipilitan ka na lang din pumasok sa work.
Got hired on that. The company treats everyone like family and everyone has each other's backs. You're allowed to call out 6 times in a year period before termination, which is reasonable. When trying to acquire an ADA to accommodate for days missed due to an illness, my manager tried to talk me out of getting it, saying it would look bad on my part. Went through the steps of getting